resonates with you, surely you're going to like what you're going to be able to hear. All right. Once again, only reason why I do these videos is just to help you see. Still rising. Gonna wait till some beings come on and get on the airwaves.
You are ready now.
That's right.
Out of your furnace of affliction.
I know that's right.
You are ready now to accept the responsibility not just of the ghetto. God wants to purify you and lift you up that you may call America and the world to repentance. Black man, you are a master builder.
That's right.
But you got hit in the head. Black man, you're the descendants of the builders of the pyramid.
Facts.
But you have amnesia now.
You forgot.
You can't remember how you did it. But the master has come.
Give yourself a pat on the back, y'all, and one clap, or two or three. Because you coming, you the master. You the master that has come. You the master that now has awakened. What happened after you get hit on the head? After you get amnesia and you start to come to light again? We begin to walk. We begin to talk. Right? We begin to see some things. Ain't that factual? When Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall, Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Did you not think there'd be a king or any horseman that will ever try to put Humpty back together again? I got that. You ain't never figured it out. You ain't never wanted to do it. You said, fuck Humpty Dumpty. And you left that nigga laying there with his head split open. Nowadays, you just pull out a cell phone and you record it. The nigga sitting there with his head split open. That's symbolic to that of a man not having knowledge. An individual is destroyed when they don't know who they are. That means we done broken that curse. When you hear that bell, that don't sanctify or signal or indicate that that's going to be the law. No. When you hear that, most times, often cases, when it's to that of your anything that had to do with your demise and your and the trickery that's been placed on us, we're gonna hit this. Because the freedom is to be free of in your dome. Look at the word freedom. Take the E, take one of the E's off of free and put it on the end of dome. That's going to be your freedom right there. That's the only way you could be free. As long as you're in the physical, you're in captive right here in the ice walls of what they call America today, you're not free. You got paperwork. Some of you niggas wanting paperwork. You're dying to get paperwork. Why? Because it's a requirement for while being in the physical plane. Let not that your right hand know what your left hand is doing. You ever heard that before? Did you ever figure out where it really stemmed from? Huh? You know, that's if that's the below. What is the above concept of not letting the left hand and the right hand know? Huh? Who want to get spiritual today? I gave you a little hint right there. Right. Let not you think that what you're doing here in the physical world has anything in relation to your spiritual self. That's the real witch doctor right there. That's the real warlock, B. Okay? When you all up in a of that, what you want them to perceive? Because remember, we're dealing with mortal minds. We're dealing with monkeys here on this planet. They easy to be led in the wrong direction. That's look it up in their doctrine. It teaches them to do this. Not that I'm going to portray, not that I'm going to take advantage of anyone's weaknesses. I'm not that type of dude. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not a God like that. I will empower you. However, if you wish to be led with the sheep and the herd, then I'm not here to stop you. I'm only here to help you to see. It's important that you know who, what, why, and how you exist. That means we're going to put a stamp on that of approval. Okay? So I want to welcome every person, place, and thing out here in existence. You know how I do it on this airwave. You know how I get up. I definitely don't get down. I used to get down. Oh, yeah. Back in the 1900s, I used to get down. Boogie night, it's all right. We're going to get it started. It's with the boogie get down. It's all. But you didn't never know that they were psychologically training you to always be in the dumb shit. You talk dumb. You think dumb. Therefore, you dress dumb. And now I look dumb. Let's take a break. We're going to come right back with the message, y'all. We're going to get into the knowing of thyself. All right, so why is it that it's important for me to know thyself? Huh? First of all, we got to understand I'm different from every person in the universe. All right? Let that be the number one first understanding that you're going to see while being on the physical plane. Is that if I'm in the auditorium, I'm in the hospital, I'm at the doctor's office, I'm at the circus, whether I'm at Walt Disney World or whether I'm in Kensington, I am different from that of anything and everything else. There's nothing, absolutely nothing in resemblance, in likeness of what I am. Yes, people, I know you didn't understand that it needed to be that deep, but it do. You know why? Because to know thyself is a never-ending journey. And you know why? Oh yeah, I could go on and on and on and on. I can ask you why. Trust me. You can ask my parents. I why you to cause you to slap me. I want to know why. One why after you answer that, why that? Why do you say this? So why is it important? Because I grow, and with growth and development becomes what? New concepts and ideas. You thought it was an ending to that of knowing who and what you are? Or you like chocolate ice cream, huh? You think you cute because you like tight pants on, huh? You think you know yourself because you don't eat no vegetables. You think you know yourself because you eat nothing but vegetables, huh? But guess what? Over in the next 100 years, you're not going to like vegetables because Anthony is going to come and poison it. And now you're going to have to move on to something else to like. There's no way you're going to be able to eat these vegetables that your grandmom and them was eating. I'm different from you. This is the whole illusion when you came in the world that got you up out of your state of existence and entrapment. You didn't come home the same way I came home from school. You know why? You know how I know? Because I didn't even go to school. And you talking about we the same. I'm going to go stand in the corner. Because y'all getting ill on me, and I don't like that world. I don't like it where everybody talks dumb. When you looking dumb and walking dumb and talking dumb. I got a book right here. It's called The Science of Self. A lot of you people are not going to like this information. But you're going to have to utilize it, though, in the future. It's put together by the God Supreme Understanding in CBS, A Life of Law. It's called The Science of Self. Take a mental note. Maybe you might want to get out and get yourself a copy. Check. So how's everyone doing out there? I hope you're doing better than me. All right. I hope that your life is going the way that's intended, that you are intending it for it to, and for it the way you are intending for it to go. If you don't like your job, I don't know why you're there. Let somebody else pay the bills for a change in the family. You ain't got to do something in life that you don't like doing, causing you anxiety and stress just because you got to pay the bills. That's what you told me while you working. You know you don't like your job or what you do, but most of you people, what y'all say? Oh, I do it because I got to pay the bills. Fuck them bills. And and if you want to cut my electric on, we find a way to cut it on ourselves. Yeah, it could get that deep. They don't want it to. So stop thinking that you're heading for a life in America of a letdown, imprisonment, because the minute you start thinking like that, it's going to be the time in which it will manifest. Why? Because our thinking is what got us to the degree of existence of where we are today. There's not been near philosopher in America or anywhere else in the wilderness of North America that will come and disagree on that. You know. So in this book that these brothers put together, we're going to read on here. All right, and I may weigh in a little bit. I'm not going to weigh in too much. As you know, what I like to do on my airwave is upcharge, upgrade, known as revise, make changes, make better. You know, you ever heard that commercial? Whatever you can do, I can do better. Huh? Yeah, and there's another one that says, whatever you make, we make better. What they say, they don't create, they just take what you create and make it better. Ain't that beautiful? Oh, people make the world go round. That's the only thing going round. You ain't on no ball spinning at 1,000 miles per second. Everything has its ordinance in our existence. You just have to, it's like a puzzle. Take the pieces and put it in the right spots. That's what you came here to do. Let not an individual tell you that there's one specific reason why there is existence here on earth. Because whether they know it or not, there is a limited amount of reasons, people. Infinite. Okay? No ending type. Remember, God, if God is the greatest and almighty, then Alpha and Omega and Lord everlasting, then so is everything that's in relation to this God after. You have to understand, I have to understand, we have to understand how existence is to have its continuum. When an individual does not function right, properly, realistically, logically, or rationally in that of the paradigm, it's a disruption. Therefore, we will have what? Imbalance. Did not the great God think that would be part of the order in the day? You going to tell me, great God, have not ever thought or considered that somebody can not drive down the street doing appropriate miles per hour, therefore cause something doing too fast, cause something to happen that endangered themselves and probably somebody else? Huh? Of course they do. Of course we do. So obviously, we are in a place of existence, be it the physical world, that which is tangible seen, with multiple reasons. If you can identify what you're here for, then you well on your way. See? Some people recognize and realize not that uh, there's more than one reason. And then we're talking about particularly, mainly our religious people, right? Most religious people think that they're here for one particular reason, and that's to obey the Creator, do the Lord's right, do the Lord's will, not do it thy will, because don't forget, that's a law too. But I said most people are here for the concept of serving of a God's will, and that's to be good and do not return back here with your bad deeds outweighing your good deeds, else you're going to the hellfire. Am I right or wrong? If I'm wrong, put a 9 in the comment section or somewhere where I can. You can say it out loud. Let me reach out in the astral world in my crystal ball and see. Let me see what you're doing. Let me see what you're thinking. Throw your thoughts out there in the universe, people. It's real. Oh yeah, it's real out here. Don't let me lay it down at night and come get you now, and I'll shake it out of you. What's your response? You'll end up, I guarantee you'll end up, if not telling me, you're going to tell somebody the answer. Because I know how to manipulate the elements in the fabrics of our existence. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's especially when it's in good hands. Okay? Like Allstate. Yeah. Your binary code with me, you know it's safe. Talk dark to me now. I ain't scared of you. When you know who you are, you know everything and everybody now else. Huh? When you know who you are, listen to me. And I want you to listen to me well, because I don't give out, well, everything that I do and say is a jewel, so I can't really say that. But I don't really intend to be giving out too many jewels. Because it's like, I know, like, I'm precious. If I fart, it's going to smell good. Okay? It's going to be a good come by. Like, okay, he farted, but, it was just a fart. Some of you niggas fart, we got to leave the room. Talk dark to me. Okay? So I'm going to give you a jewel. When you know everything, when you know yourself, you know everybody and everything else in the universe. Let that be a jewel that you contemplate on from here on out. Because once you get out of here, it changes. That's just the jewel for this plane. Check. It reads that the self-existence Lord appears to senses to turn outward. Thus we look to the world outside and see not the self within us. A sage withdrew his senses from the world. Y'all know what a sage is, right? A wise person. Someone who, this nigga, she's supposed to be a guru. She know everything. I know everything. One of them type people like me. We know everything. You know what I'm talking about? That's a sage. So a sage withdrew his senses from the world of change and seeking immorality, looked within and beheld the deathless self. Can you see the patterns yet? Can you see the structure of reality? Huh? Can you see the structure of reality? Listen to these words, people. These are very powerful words you're going to be hearing. Okay? These are words that is not typical enough of your norm throughout the day. That's why I'm sitting here giving it to you. And no, it's not free of charge. I was just paid already, okay? For you people who want to know. So you ain't got to worry about cash apping me or donating. Because I'm already paid. So listen, I ain't got much time. I got some more better things to do. You know what I mean? The bit sitting here reading to you. You ever heard that before? So let me stop tripping. Read the book, man. Stop playing. Hold up. Will y'all be that? Listen. Whose show is this? This is In Me I Trust Nate the Great Film and Streaming. This ain't whoever else want to be doing what they want to do. You just hold the tail. I don't do the creating. You see? So again, can you see the patterns yet? Can you see the structure of reality? Can you see through the layers of material into the substance below the surface? If so, you know what at the heart of reality and the precursor to this information, which the gods I've told you, knowledge is who's supreme understanding and superior law have put together for us. All right, is going to be a collection of wisdom on the science of everything in life. Supreme understanding. This is some small writing here, and I do need more lighting, so please forgive me for the slowness in reading. I'm going to see if I can brighten it up a little bit because that's going to slow us down. I got to squinch my eyes. So let me see if I can brighten this up a little bit. And we're going to get right back into this because I want to make sure that you're here in this science, all right? So that you could take this information and dissect it as you will. Come on, man. What do I tell y'all to do with information? Huh? What do we do with information? We dissect, digest, and manifest. Right? All right, let's get into this reading, y'all. Enough silliness. Enough silliness for today. All right, so where were we? Supreme Understanding wrote about the consciousness, intelligence running every system in our bodies. And this is what he said here. This mind that you can't see, right? Well, like I said, I don't want to paraphrase because it's this information being of such of a prominence. Let me read it. I want to get it out here. Not that what I'm going to put to the grid is of any matter. However, it's just that it has to come in degrees. And it's like, I want to get it to you where though I'm sure it's going to be of justice and service. You got to understand what I'm saying is I'm probably lesser than the 1%. Not the 3%ers or not the 5%ers, not the 85%ers. You know what I'm talking about? So I ain't going to talk too much. Just, again, be sure that you take this information, you dissect it. You know what it If you don't know what dissect means, look it up. Okay, I don't want to be too long with you. Here it is: the mind, that what you see. And if let me just say this, and I'm gonna shut up and read on because a lot of people might say, "Well, I don't know what the mind is. I don't know nothing different from the mind and the brain. What's the difference?" The mind is the part that talking and your mouth is never moving. That's the mind. That's you. It's real simple. See, it ain't hard. This inner intelligence keeps your heart beating and your lungs breathing without you even having to even think about it. You do it. Nate, don't say nothing. Let's keep reading. How else could all those processes go on inside of you without a glitch? Huh? Good question. How did you think? Well, I forgot. I'm sorry. I think my family told me that it was God that was causing my heart to beat. I think I was educated and taught that it was God that was causing my ears and my lungs, my airwaves and my lungs to have its relationship. But I never accepted that, people, let alone even believe that baloney. Especially when you never even showed me who God was first. You showed me the lungs. That was clear. We seen it in the book and or in the classroom. But we never really, except for, see, down the W man did a better job than anybody. At least they put that nigga up on the cross with blood and shit all hanging out on him. But you know, of course, me, I'm not going to accept that either. That scared me as a little kid. I felt sorry for Jesus. I still pray for Jesus to think about that because that's psychological damage in me. Y'all don't know that. Check. You want to talk about dysfunctioning? Who's responsible for this? You want to tell me 85 or over 85% of your families in America are dysfunctional? Who's responsible for that? I say you better check your information and your education in. That's what I say. I don't know. That's a good start. Trust me. You ain't got to go like they tell you, take the order of command. First you go ask the preacher. If they can't help you, now you ask the police commissioner. If the police commissioner can't help you, now you ask your congressman. If the congressman can't, man, get. You know how long it's gonna take before I get to the president and everybody in the neighborhood is dead from crack? No, we don't do it like that. You never see no one resolve the problem by just taking it, cutting it down. You got to get to the root. So there's nothing spooky about what's going on in your operation and existence of life, people. Nothing. Nobody can prove it. That's how you know you're gonna win the argument. That's why I've never debated nobody. I even stopped arguing, disputing. I can't wait till I stop teaching because it's really not necessary. You can teach yourself. You know what you like. You know what you should be doing. You know your nays from your nays. You know what's good for you and what's not. The individual know not to go shoot somebody. And if they do, then oh so well. It's me that don't understand the matter. Everything has its significance, purpose, and reason, and yes, explanation, even if I cannot figure it out. It's just that I haven't reached the level yet of intelligence or insight wisdom, knowledge. If God, even your spooky God, do not put nothing together that's a mistake or by mishap. So how are you having this in your life if you're a follower of God? Talk to me. You must be following the wrong God. If there's things wrong in your life, if you got some mistakes and the coincidences, as your best friend, a recommended nigga on planet Earth, I would suggest to you, you need to change your God. Change it. It's not empowering me. You know how precious I am? I need the greatest of existence. How I look being with some trash, some filth, something human and mortal. I gotta fake. Now I gotta come out of my shell. I'm sorry, I said I wasn't going to talk while reading. I just can't help myself. Because people, you got to understand, my informational code needs to change so that I can fit the paradigm which Trump and them is bringing into existence, and Elon. And I don't even really say those people's names. It's just that I had to do that so you could see, because you know that they ain't playing no games. If anybody in the world that we can see who is not playing games other than me, you know them niggas is getting it in as I speak. It's for real on planet Earth. Ain't all over. But right here on Earth, yo, y'all don't know, throughout all galaxies, it ain't nowhere much talked about than that of what's going on here in the ice walls of Turtle Island. And you here today in it with a social security number. That's the only way it goes. Let me look him up. Let me go on the computer. Oh, okay. His credit is good. Good. She's got good credit scores. She's never been arrested. Yeah. Earth is up for revision, y'all. Atlantis has risen. The Rosarians, the Nuwabians, all them niggas is here. Oh, what a life. Lately it's been 70s, and it's so right, so what a life. Listen, it states here that this intelligence is definitely within you. You know, remember that part I was talking about? That be in your head and your mouth not moving? That's you. You are intelligence, your energy. You're the highest form of intelligence. That's why I call you the supreme being. Supreme means the most high. Being means something that exists. So out of everything that exists, there is nothing more supreme and greater than you. And I don't debate, and I'm not going to argue about this. I will, though, pull the Bible out and show the greatest theologians, scholars, and sages, gurus, teachers, and etc., that God made a man called Adam, which is you, not ADAM, but ATOM, huh? 666. That's right. I remember I told you electric. Those are your elements. They made you scared of it all your life. But since God created it, everything was to bow down to you. So therefore, Your Honor, I've just shown and proved through the book which sits on your altar. Ring the bell, goddammit, y'all. I need my team with me in the background. Because that's an altar. Them niggas sitting there with black on working magic. I'm a guru, so I know what's going on in the world, especially on Turtle Island. I can't tell you too much about the 19th galaxy and anything beyond or under it. I have not yet access to that beyond. I have to wait. But when it comes to here, your little educational system at Harvard and Yale and Princeton, I just say I like to watch The Simpsons. Okay? That's my favorite show. So understand and overstand. We're talking about a revisement, a way of being enlightened, right? So that you could go on and have better growth and development in your planes of existing, right? So reading on, it says that this intelligence is within you, right? And those who want to know, I'm reading up out of the God's book of understanding and life of law, who wrote titled the what is it? The Science of Self. Okay. Well, we're not gonna figure out where that came from. So reading on, it states that it's even within your control. You simply don't know about it. You see, there are actually 5 stages or frequencies of the mind. Actually, there's more. But the gods wrote again. That's why we need your children to come and bring further enlightenment. For enlightenment means intelligence, for those who are unaware. And intelligence brings about an overseeing, right? Because they like that writer. You ever see the cartoon when Elmer Fudd be thinking and they put a light bulb over their head? It's what they indicating to you that not only are you electric, but your thoughts are electric. And it has signals and waves, and it can be contact. And you can even transfer, record, store, and emit information. Now, what's the most profitable? Well, I won't say the most, but what is one, and it may not be so still to the day, but back in the day, here on Earth, one of the most useful ways of transference of information was through that of our vegetation. Yeah, you see, because what grows your vegetation is the sun, and from the sun is where you get not just vitamin D, but a bunch of information and through photons and rays of electricity, it is stored in your what? Fruits and vegetables. This is why you have a lot of people or people who are into spirituality prefer that of vegan, or let's say a meatless diet, because they understand the science of being electric. So, understanding and understanding that, we have to understand how these stages are consciousness, subconscious, superconscious, magnetic conscious, and infinite consciousness. We're going to deal with those 5 for now. All right, since we're in the book of the Know Thyself with the Gods. Most people are only aware of the basic stage, Why? Because they speak basic stuff. Even the most intelligent American use the word basically to sound intelligent. How many of you ever heard that? Huh? Sure you have. Dumb. I don't even want to talk to you. You come to me, you talk to me. Well, basically, man, get the fuck out of here. I'm out. Basic ass nigga. Basic. And you probably going home and telling your children to use their common sense, aren't you? You see how you partake of the foolishness and dumbing down of American people? No, you don't see it. You're gonna get up tomorrow and repeat the same goddamn bullshit again. Watch. And I don't know, just by the way the atmosphere is functioning. You see? Because I understand the one in relation of things. I told you, when you know yourself, you know everything and everybody else. So again, most people are only aware of the basic stage, their conscious thoughts. They are reminded of their subconscious thoughts when they dream at night or have fantasies, but even then, they don't realize that their mind is functioning on more than one level. A computer works the same way. You got to understand, they built the computer after the replica of how your mind operates and functions. They know you better than you know yourself. There are processes that happen on the desktop screen, just like the program that's used to write this book, he states, and processes that happen in the background. If you were to start investigating your subconscious thoughts, oh no, I apologize. I had the keyboard by mistake, and I ultimately went into my music zone because I was looking for that note. That was crazy. That I was looking for that. Let me see something. I'm writing a song. I apologize, y'all. I'm multitasking. I just like to do a lot of things. I do a lot of things. Well, I'm actually sitting here reading you. I'm somewhere actually in three different dimensions, fixing a car, and I'm with this lady, and I'm thinking about being with another lady. So, but not in the same plane. No, y'all crazy. Look at y'all laughing. Damn, brother. So, yeah, some of these cats, they do it in the same neighborhood, which is dumb. At least I like the white man. He do it in the different cities. You know what I mean? The W man do it. They got families in different countries. I got families in multiple universes. Now, how you gonna beat that, partner? Told you, you can't beat me. Whatever you do, I'll do it better. Now let me stop. Because look, I really say that and do that because this is how I made my team strong growing up, y'all. It's not that I'm really big. It's just that I know I'm great. My name is Nathaniel. Like, it's that these not, and everybody who is unaware, it means gift of God. Who doesn't know? So anyway, that's what I'm here on earth to express and exempt. So anyway, when I was growing up, I would make my team, especially playing football. Like, I need you. You look how big you is. You got to stop that dude. You know what I mean? So we always need people that's going to inspire you to be who you supposed to be while you here. I was never the kid that changed nobody. I accept you. I don't care if you was on the little small yellow green bus. I want to see who on that motherfucker. You know what I mean? They somebody special. So we knowing and moving on with the gods and their ideology here, let us recognize and realize how Again, most people are only aware of the basic stages, the conscious thoughts. So they are reminded of their subconscious thoughts when they dream at night or have fantasies. But even though, excuse me, but even then, they don't realize their mind is functioning on more than one level. You see? Think about it. What do you mean mind functioning on more than one level? Don't just look at it on a micro scale. As below, you need to be above. I ain't gonna say no more. If you can't figure it out, just wait. Keep trusting and loving and believing in yourself. That's all you gotta do. You ain't gotta pay for it. You ain't gotta run out to Barnes and Nobles and start buying up all kinds of books. No. Trust yourself. All the information is within you, in your DEA. It's for some of you, your DNA, who is listening. Or RNA. God damn it. So I'm talking to everybody. I love everything, everybody. Rocks, pebbles, hamsters, worms, boogies, people, ketchup, vegetables, steak. I love it all. Now, will I partake and be with you and do this, that, the other? That'll be another story. But that don't mean that I don't have to love you. I'm going to let you go shoot up and give you a couple dollars. I'm just going to go do something else. Holler at me when you're done. If you could and can and want. You know what I'm talking about? This is what makes God God. Jesus said he mastered the what? The 7 levels of hell. He said, I hold the keys. People, how did he do that? He had to partake of the herb. He had to partake of the pork. How you gonna know that shit drive a nigga crazy? I could just be telling you that. Let me taste it. Oh yeah, that's good coke. That's good coke, sir. That's 30 grand on the street. And they buy it. You gotta test the waters. If you're willing to be supreme. Now, some people may not want to accept that in existence, but that's okay. To me, that's only an indication that you have another life cycle to come here and do. Oh, yes, on this particular plane. And no, it's not that you failed. There's no such thing as failing. Only in there, in another, and only in a certain world. And if that's the world you partake in and want to be up, then fine. Nobody stops you from here on earth doing what you came here to do. Why do you think we made this third dimension? It is a place of existence where you can come and have it your way. Huh? Where else have you heard it where you can go and have it your way? Burger King, right. Look at their colors. Did you not know that them niggas is occultists? So of course they're gonna quote some shit like that. IP game. You gotta understand what's dumb talk and what's empowering talk. If you were to start investigating your subconscious thoughts, you could learn a lot about yourself. You could learn what makes you tick, as they say. Huh? You could understand, we're going to use here, what you're really thinking about or why you're really doing or why you really did something you did. It's not that hard to do. It begins with looking past the basic and asking questions like why about everything. You know, one of my models is question everything, right? If you ask yourself whatever means, right? Even the little things you do, you'll begin to see clearly in no time. Unfortunately, most of us function solely on the conscious level, satisfying our most basic needs, which is food, clothing, and shelter, sleep, some weed, and some sex. We didn't know why people, including us, do what they do, nor do we try to learn and find out. So he writes that I'm hoping you're not like that because I'm about to take you deep into the rabbit hole. Consider the science of self a head first dive into the rabbit hole we opened up in knowledge of self. In this chapter, we'll show you how there's more to your mind than what you sense on a conscious level, more to yourself than uh, a margin of mind and body, and how the same conscience that governs your body also governs all reality. When you're done, you will understand what it meant to the ancient Indian scripture, the Kina, which is the Kina Upanishad, where it says, that which cannot be expressed by speech, but by which speech is expressed, that alone know as Burham, and not that which people here worship, that which cannot be apprehended by the mind, but by which they say the mind is apprehended. That alone know as Burman, and not that which people here worship. That which cannot be perceived by the eye, but by which the eye is perceived, that alone know as Burman, and not that which people here worship. That which not be heard by the ear, but by which the hearing is perceived, also that too alone is that of the Birdman, and not that of which the people here worship. So, some of the things that we're going to be able to see and ensure is that why man is mind and mind is man. Okay, how your mind is connected to everything in the universe. You will be able, by going through this information and this knowledge that we're sharing, you will be able to see the difference between the brain and the mind. We'll be able to see how the mind structure reality at all scales of existence. Okay, we're going to be able to have the beautiful experience. Some people like to use the word being blessed. I'm not blessing you. Blessed means to be less than blessed. Look at the word blessed. Study etymology, people. One of the key studies that we need to at least have observation of is etymology, right? Because you'll be able to break down and define the existence by that of just knowing the curse and the spell through that of the English language. And if you don't know as of yet that by speaking English, you placing curses all and over, why do you think, oh, it's so empowering? The only reason why, do you know the English language, people, is a language spoken all over the plane of existence? And that's not by accident. This is what keeps the, as they say, why do the people act like that? He said, I don't know, but it keeps the people grooving. You see? It's the spell, it's the magic, it's the energy. It's not the white man, it's not the black man. Although it can be pinpointed down to that uh, 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 scenario, okay? If you have a direct in relations of some type of injustice, yeah. And that's only because they dumb and they picking up and following the energy. You see? Once that's been set in motion and put forth, all it took now is for individuals to grab a hold on it to it. So dealing with this type of information that we're revealing here and going over, we will have the ability to know how the third eye is actually, or I like to say is the first eye. All right. It has here the third eye. From here on out, you won't realize that if you're talking about you, if I'm talking about me, then it's going to be the first eye. Now, if you want to use third eye, then there must be more than you around. Check. We're talking about a group of people, a conglomerate, a gathering of individuals, right? So understand and overstand. We're going to be able to understand how the third eye is actually a real organ. Okay. Well, it's actually not. So he has here the third eye is actually, and that may be true. And to this day, they might want to change this because it's been also found that it's not really an organ. It's just like a space, so said by Phil Valentine. Okay, if you want to do some cross references and uh, information fact checking, you can find some information books or videos that of Phil Valentine. Uh, I think Loyola Africa makes mention of it. Also, in this clarity of actually what we're dealing with. Some people say is that of the shape of a pine cone. And see, this is where the confusion comes in for the simple fact that they thinking that it's an actual place or organ in this place of the brain, but it's actually a shape, y'all, which secretion that of the I'm gonna use the terminology melatonin, okay? Where the melanin and things starts to develop through that of your interference with the meat suit that you're uh, 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 occupying, okay? And this what brings the spirit or the Christ or the crescent energy through that of the Kundalini spine up and down your 33 vertebrae, okay, of your spine, reaching the top of the what? The pineal gland, and thereby activating all three, pituitary and the thymal glands, right? Which is that of symbolic in your Bible as being that of the three wise men, okay? And also all that Illuminati stuff, it all has its synchronism in it. But you just have to, if you're not aware, take your time, get into certain studies and fields, and wait till it irons itself on. Wait till the information irons itself all out in your arena or in your dome, okay? And where it's best suitable and satisfying to you. Not of that or what Nate says and teacher or Phil Valentine or Bobby Hemmett or Panic or Sanchez, okay? You want to see how, or even Bedell, there's a lot of great scholars out here. I like to give my energy and kudos to these people. Young Elder, Rod Hayes, Sister Myra, uh, Kia Real, and and on and on and on, and all you sisters out there. I know who you are out here in the world that's making uplifting the frequency and the vibration. All right, so keep doing, everybody, even if you fucking up, I need you to keep doing what you're doing. See, because once you get down to the bottom of all your fucking upness, you ain't got no other way to do is come up now and come see Papa. Okay, so when you get done with all your pain and all your misery and all your anxiety and your frustration and everything else that hell brings, I'll be there for you. I'll be there, huh? Yeah. Every curve you make, every turn you take, I'll be there for you. So moving on. You got y'all people gotta understand, y'all. Everybody that mostly is a singer, and that's the only way Hollywood really lets you in. You gotta be a part of the order. Whether you in the music industry, entertainment business, the fashion business, hell, and heaven. If you even in the sports, if you a referee, yeah, those are Masons. They are part of the high order. You don't see the shirt that they wear? They take oath. Anybody who takes an oath is a part of the order. So where we at here? Okay. It's not that hard to do. Meaning what? Investigating your subconscious and knowing is that what it makes you tick. For those who need to be caught back up on where we was. So it's not that hard to do, it says here. It begins with looking past the basics. Stop walking around here talking about, well, basically, trying to sound educated. All right? And all right? And asking questions like why about everything. Huh? Why is it 365 days and you only got names for 7 of them? Question these things. All right? If you ask yourself what everything means, even the little things, and if you come and tell me, oh, Nate, there is no name, you just have to say them all over. That's dumb. That's dumber than dumb. I don't even want to test people like that because that's the answer I'm afraid that I'm gonna hear. I bet you won't say that I owe you $1,000 and I just give you 100, nigga, and you say where's the rest, and I tell you count it over again. Here, give it here. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Count that 9 more times. It's the same thing. Huh? So you need to question everything, people, so you can understand and understand correctly and rightly. You want right knowledge, right wisdom, and right understanding. Ashe? What is the mind? So asked the God CBS, a life of law. All that we are is the result of all that we have thought. And once you think a thing, that's what's etched in the fabrics of existence. You see? It's just like somebody creating something here on earth. Once you create the next cell phone, there's somebody else going to come and continue and on and after its likeness and what? Evolve it and revise it. So it is founded on thought. It is based on thought. That's what mind is, people. Mind is 666. What develops and creates and make up mind is that of electrons, protons, and neutrons. You see? Energy that's neither created nor destroyed. Huh? So are we mere products of the universe? Huh? Looking at it in that light. Of course you are. That's your home. People, I tell you all the time. You can't spell universe without you. I won. I beat you again. I love winning. Yeah. Don't you like winning? You won the race, people. When you go home to thyself, you know who you are, what you want, where you are, how you exist, how you're faring in existence, and it all sits well with you in regards as to what another individual will ever think. You're free. Nobody ever teach about what the freedom is. They always want to give you books and teach about how to be free. Where my niggas and my goddesses at that's talking about, well, it's the same thing. Niggas is everybody in my book. But, where we at that's talking about what's it like and how it is in heaven? Huh? Who writing books that's explaining what's it like in heaven and that's encouraging me while here on earth to hurry up and want to get there? Y'all notice that? Ain't no everybody writing books on how I fucked up, how fucked up things are, how fucked up things are to get with Trump in office. That's it. I don't like this world. Y'all can't find the beauty in anything? Well, you should be finding it within yourself if you can't find it out there in the world. Huh? People, how did you get so in a wrench condition when I read in your holy Bible that it says in the beginning it was all good? God created everything and it was good. You want to blame it on Adam and Eve because they done bit some substances that you eat today that's to keep you alive. Fruit! Google it. If you went on a fruitarian, some niggas live a fruitarian diet. I guess they going to hell. That's the same thing. That's the same thing they was charged for in the Garden of Eden. Yeah, anybody don't know an apple is a fruit. At least I thought it used to be. I don't know how it may have changed today. So you see, none of it makes any sense because it's all allegorical, metaphorical, and symbolic. The Bible is a book that's full of riddles and codes, people. Why do you think it is at the altar in courtrooms, churches? Huh? It's a book widely world sold, most widely world sold book, held to the most prestigious of esteem. The presidents would used to even put their hand on it up until Donald Trump didn't put his hand on it. And it's a symbolic and reason for that, but we're not gonna get into that. I ain't ready to teach y'all about all that yet. That's for me and them. We know what that's going on. I'm gonna get you first up out of the herd. You ain't ready to peep into the garden, peep into the hidden treasures yet of Isaiah. Was it 45? I think Isaiah 45, where we speak about the hidden treasures and the secrets of the dark side. Some of you people ain't ready for that yet. You scared of the dark. You go to sleep with your lights on and your TV on. Don't tell me. You ain't ready for no dark shit. So we can continue to keep the light on for you. And that means we're giving you the light. When I say we, I'm talking about like-minded individuals out here in existence. So the question was, are we mere products of the universe? Are we the sum of of extensive evolution that extends beyond biological evolution into chemical and anatomical evolution? Are we the original seed potential out of which the universe unfolds? Huh? These are all questions that you need to be questioning yourself. These are all questions that the teacher led your mind from ever want to even begin to develop or formulate in your mind. You better not even, your mom used to tell you, you better not even think. That's the same way these teachers was when it comes to that of truth and real information and empowering energy. You better not. That's why they asked you in kindergarten, what do you want to be when you grow up? Huh? See? That slipped by you. You didn't know that was game. See, I came through, y'all, knowing what's going on. So I had a different mindset when I'm dealing with these monkeys. Y'all, mommy bringing me to school. I got my sharp dress on and my sharp shoes on. And I'm ready to go to class and learn. And they want to sit all up in the front at the desk and get their paper and pencil out and sit up in the chair, put your back up. So what? You could be indoctrinated. And it's okay. I'm not putting no one down. Please, that's never my intention. Don't ever think that I'm disrespecting, degrading, or putting any one thing, person, place, or thing down in existence. If I'm God Almighty, I ain't doing nothing here to help you lift up and see. You hear me? Don't you ever think that I'm here disrespecting you or degrading you. That's not in me. My name is Nathaniel. Don't get it fucked up. All right? And look what Nathaniel means. In fact, you can go to John 1:45, verse 45 through 49, and Jesus said that there's no lies or deceitfulness in him. And King James, it used the word beguile. And for those who are unaware, beguile means no deceitfulness. Huh? So I don't know how to give you no bullshit. I don't know how to lie to you. I mean, I got friends who do it good, so I can imitate. I used to practice how to lie to the girls, tell them that, I got a house, I got 2 cars in the garage and a fat bank account, and, but I get caught. I'm the first one to get caught. This cat still to this day living off a relationship that they lied to somebody about 20 years ago. Well, don't talk, because that's what they do. But see, I know me. That's not my life. I'm not good at that. I learned that with my parents. Okay? So you got to understand, it's all about knowing thyself. And once you know yourself, you'll be not afraid of being thyself. And you don't necessarily have to reveal yourself, but most importantly, be yourself. And you can reveal yourself to that of whom you wish to choose to do so. And because in reality, it's nobody else's business who and what you are. The third realm is a place of deceitful, diabolical, and everything that you can imagine. Only here, only on the third rail. Y'all call it the third plane or the third dimension. I call it the third rail. Can you have what you see going on as it is? Watch the movie Men in Black. When Will Smith was with the boy, I forget their numbers, or actually they were letters, right? M and K, I think they may have been. And M or whoever the white boy took Will Smith on what? Another plane of existence, what you would call Earth. right? And what did Will Smith say? You mean the people back on, and requote, he stated that, you mean the people back on Earth don't know that this place exists? Huh? I think it was Men in Black 2. Facts. No. So Earth, this ice wall, inside this ice wall, okay? Once you go on any other dimension or plane existence now, the game plan changes. Even the whole goddamn mathematical code. There ain't no 129. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Only that shit exists here. That's garbage compared to other states of existence and civilization. Are we clear? And I said that. That's right. I don't care who your Harvard professors you bring. Your information is futile to me. You go get the nigga from NASA. What's his name? Well, actually, he's a theoretical scientist. Michio Kaku. But really, any of them niggas. Neil deGrasse Tyson down to Billy Carson. They know. They know better. They just call me up. Oh, Nate, all right, man, just chill out for me a little bit. Then I'll be like, all right, that's cool. But at least let me tell my niggas, like, yo, y'all cats ain't the motherfuckers that to be, you know what I mean? Like, talking that shit. They ain't talking no sass. You gotta be careful with most people and information is of deception. Why? Because it keeps you from being empowered and as always a slave. So therefore, your energy is useful. Never mind your blood and your plasma, nigga. They passed that. Are we the original seed potential out of which the universe unfolded? Are we the product of the environment, or are we the producers of the environment? Huh? Some people like to think that they are a product of their environment. I like to say that the environment is a product of what I think. I got I got entities out here working hard just to keep up with what I'm thinking and bringing to Earth. How you not in accord? Huh? How you just here working on the planet Earth at Walmart talking about you ready to retire? What led you to that degree? Some are under the illusion that science doesn't seek to answer the above question. They think that only religion has been set up to contemplate man's role in the universe. Ain't that that's so dumb of them? Ain't that stupid, y'all? To think that only religion has the ability to explain the answer to all of man's role in the universe. Science doesn't just seek to understand the underlying structure of reality, it also works at answering how we are connected to the structure of the universe on the quantum and astronomical levels. You see, by recognizing that things reproduce after their own kind on a biological level, right? Science isolates the principle of reproduction. Reproduction thus becomes not just a principle that is seen on a biological level, it extends into the chemical element, planetary, and other realms of existence. Seeing that there is a principle that is shared throughout the existence propels science to look for other connections between these levels. This structure or resonant relationship between different levels of the universe can be referred to as the mind. Man's mind is that of the word. Let's look at the word man, and it comes from the Sanskrit word which means mind. Did you know that? Man, meaning mind, is not limited to Sanskrit and its relative languages. In the language of the Awakable Aboriginals of the Australians, the word for self is koti, which comes from the word for the thought or thinking, kota. Among the Bantu, that of the tribe of West Africa, Muntu is the self. All right. And Muntu means mind. In fact, the Bantu is simply the plural of Muntu. Check. Let that sink in for a little bit. Because a lot of the people are not aware of these words. Some people are, but didn't know. That in distinct and further other cultures, that their language is totally wrapped around the concept of that of themselves just by utilizing the language that they speak. You see why you see what happened? Why they gave you the language English? Huh? They even got a nerve to tell you speak good English. Speak proper English. Why? Why you want me to speak proper English? Huh? Will that ensure, wrap, and seal my consciousness that to of a mortal, diabolical, forever state of stupidity? That's what it sounds like. It sounds like the sure remedy of that to keep one tied down and never excelling and becoming that of anything in which they intended to be. The mind is a noun, does not exist as a thing. The mind is the order, structure, and organization that energy and matter takes. Huh? Order means arrangement, and it also means condition of a community which is under the rule of law from its early etymology. Patterns clearly evident from galaxies to atoms show there is a role of law or order in the universe. Though the word law is utilized in a sociological, in a sociological context, okay, one should become familiar with the scientific context. A scientific law is a description of an ordered phenomenal. We need to understand and understand this. So if energy and matter are the building blocks, then the mind is the order of which you arrange the blocks. You see? It's you and you alone. This is your process here on earth, people. There is nothing and no one else that's supposed to be partaking in it. And when incorporated with any element or ingredient that was not ever intended by you, there's room for failure, resulting in dissatisfaction of your life and of yourself. Because you let somebody tell you that you should have a weaving in your hair to make you look pretty. How you know that God down the street ain't gonna like you with your hair nappy and all that natural? And it may be the man that best ever treat you right. Because if you come into him faking half ass, you know you're not going to get no life that's real. You see? You only attract that what you are. So again, though the word law is utilized in a sociological context, one should become familiar with the scientific context. A scientific theory is an explanation of an observed phenomenon. So if energy and matter are the building blocks, then the mind is the order in which you arrange the blocks. Some people have a hard time seeing the mind as not being a tangible thing. That's because it's not. The only way you know that the mind exists is through that which manifests in the physical world. However, it states here that they confuse the mind with the brain. The mind exists independent of the brain. It is like heat. You can't touch heat. You can only touch those things whose atoms have been accelerated to generate heat. What is the length of despair? What is the humidity of peace? They don't have a context because things like love, peace, and happiness come from order or the relationships that things share with each other. Order is not less real. However, it is just not a thing that you can measure by a yardstick. Rather, it is a quality of organization. So this implicates order, right? It's often referred to in some circles as non-local principle. In some Chinese philosophies, it is referred to as the no mind, or what it says here is Wu Shen, or simply the Tao, right? In quantum physics, it is coined by Dr. David Bohm as the quote, mind like end quote, aspects of the hidden variable, which he says underlies the holographic structure that allows information of any part of the universe to be equally present in and in an other part of the universe. Now, I know that a lot of words put together and it seems to bring no clarity, but just be patient. We're going to formulate and discover here. All right? Listen, what is the structure of reality? Is the question we're going to have to put to the scenery to iron all this out. All right. So first of all, space and time transits and unusual events. Persinger and Luciferian writes in a paper titled Space and Time, we as species exist in a world in which exists a myriad of data points, which is events or actions, right? Verbs and non-verbs. Upon these uh, matrices of points, we superimpose a structure, which would be that of models, maps, statistic thing. Nouns, not verbs. And the word makes sense to us. The pattern of the structure originates within our biological and sociological properties, which is what? Brain, hardware, and software. So, testing for some elements of this quantum level structure came about with Bell's theorem in 1964. In summary, Bell's theorem pulsated a device which emitted a ray of protons. Listen, which went to two different devices separate by space. The measurement of the light at each device showed that they were mathematically complementary, complementary, known to do the same properties. It's as if each group of photons knew what measurements was being carried out. So Bell's theorem was actually tested in 1974 and it acted in the exact manner that Bell had postulated. Let me make it clear what this implies. Whether they are separate by an inch or a million miles, subatomic particles can communicate instantly. Mr. Baum explains this is because the universe is not as real as we think. It is, in fact, like a hologram that gains its illusion of depth from our conscious observation. Interesting, huh? So, like they say in the Matrix, this only exists because you think it's so. Once you stop thinking about this, it really don't exist no more. This is the whole concept and idea of being in the present, being in the moment. Yesterday isn't real. Tomorrow has not yet come. Why are you so sad? Huh? Let's continue. As Michael Talbot explains in the holographic universe, listen, a lot of people don't even accept no idea of anything about a universe being holographic. But we're going to see something here. We're going to give us something to chew on. Okay? Make sure y'all share this information, people, because we need not for our loved ones to be stagnated in foolishness and idiocy and information that does them no good. A lot of people like to say, well, Nate, what do you do with the information that you got? It's empowering. Don't you know knowledge is power? Didn't they tell you that? Didn't I don't know they beat you in the head with that. I think it was on a cartoon or something. Knowing is half the battle. What's the other half? They ain't never tell you that, did they? Well, I'm gonna tell you. Implementing it, moving out, is the other half of the battle. Don't just sit there acting like you know something. If you know better, then you what? You would do better. So Bone believes the reason subatomic particles are able to remain in contact with one another regardless of the distance separating them is not because they are sending some sort of mysterious signals back and forth to each other, but for the simple fact that their separateness is an illusion. He argues that at some deeper level of reality, such particles are not individual entities, but are actually extensions of the same fundamental something. He writes something. Keep that in mind. He writes something. We're going to get to that because y'all know what it is. Even Einstein said that some notions of non local quantum mechanical appear spooky. Well, I'm here to tell you that it was purposely kept spooky because they figured out. See, you got to know why and how all these so-called black people, people of melanin, was put or had to go through the situation and condition in which took place with them. Y'all know white folks could not have achieved no greatness if it was not for the black man. We know that throughout all of their history, right? From the Buffalo Soldiers to that of just a motherfucking white person saying that I got one good black friend. Right? Like, tell the truth. They need, even who was it? Cat Williams told them, get you some black friends and vice versa. If you black, get you some white friends. Because Cat Williams understood the relationship that was possible for you to have. And thereby saving yourself. See, because you got to know why somebody wants your company, people. Even the closest friend you got today, you want to be aware of why they call you. Why are you in their phone book? Hmm? Are you in my phone book because you make me laugh? When I'm feeling sad and life isn't going well, I know I can call you up. And what they say, she can make me laugh or he can make me laugh. So this is what the data through reputable experiments has established. And there is no conflict within the scientific community about data. The only thing being discussed is what the data actually implies. In general, there are three lenses through which to filter this data. They were all determined by David Bowman, yet given physical names by the author Robert Anton Wilson. Wilson has labeled these three models, right, as the philosophical monist alternative, the science fiction alternative, and the neo Kantian alternative. He stressed that they are not the only three choices, yet, in general, most views fall within the three slots. Notice they're using the number three, people. And what did Nikola Tesla, or so called what they throw in your face about the 369 coming from Nikola Tesla? Huh? That's what he made mention of. So you see, it's not just the Illuminati. It's just not your Masonic order. It's just not your bone and skull. It's not just Hollywood or the news media that deals with the repetitions in the mathematical code of 369. It's just that they understand the paradigm in which we are operating in, and so therefore even with the elite or the powers that used to be, when they're doing their magic and spirit cooking, and you know how these people will tell you, well, they got to show you and put it in front of your face before they do what they do. It's a code. This is how you understand the science and the mathematics of the paradigm in which you are evolving in. No more than the movie the V for Vendetta. If you ever watched the movie V for Vendetta, what did he do when he had his victims? He left them a rose. Huh? What do the mafia do? Huh? When they do their work. If you find a tongue hanging out somebody's neck, or a detective, you might got somebody's in his office and they're missing a pinky. I know that you're part of an organization. Everything has a code. There's a code to this, people. So you got to understand and overstand. And once you do, now it's obligated and competent upon you to be able to play your role. Remember, the world is a stage, and everybody has a role to play. My only question is that what role will you play while being on stage. Look at them. They talking about I'm gonna be like Oprah Winfrey. I'm gonna be remain a slave. It's okay. You can stay a slave. But what kind of slave will you be? Will you be a sex slave? Like Prince? Like he said, huh? Would you be a workaholic slave? Will you be a tap dancer? Will you dance? What type of slave will you be? And be sure you're getting paid. Be sure you're getting all your perks. Don't be a dumb hoe. Don't be a stupid drug dealer, gangster, pimp. Take it to the furthest extent in which it's supposed to be. Remember, you're a God no matter what. To the highest of heights of what you are manifesting in, to that of the lowest, the base state of existence. You're still the God of your existence. Then nobody else put you in that condition and predicament. No matter where you find yourself at in this day and time, people, you put yourself there. I put myself here. It's time for me to pull myself up out of bootstraps, as they say, and get with my program. Not the program, not her program, not his program. Your program. Get with your program. You're never going to exceed and prevail until you do. As long as you seek anything outside of yourself, you'll never become great. You'll always be less than a follower, an individual who can do what they can do. Let me remind you, gods do what they want. Others do what they can. That's a fact. Look around you. Whether you like it or not, what they do, they're doing it, and you can't do it. You scared. You don't. You don't want to go to jail. You don't want to get locked up. You don't want nobody to kill you. You don't want this. You don't want that. You don't want God to send you to hell. There's always somebody. You can't be yourself because somebody else telling you no. You know you like her. You know you like him. But because of the oath that you took, you can't even go out with him. You can't even go out with her. Huh? Right, because that's what? Polygamy, I think the word is. If it ain't, you know what the fine definition of the dealing with more than one person is. Utilize it. Who said it though? Is my question. Who wrote that? Is that what I came to Earth for and to do? Is that what I said, that I only come here to marry one woman? Or is that what Donald Trump says? You know that's what the laws say. Did you know if R. Kelly was in another country, he'd never be in jail? Oh my God. There's other countries where you were allowed to have a 16, 15, 14-year-old. That's fucked up this man, his life is. And he may not be. It's just a game. It's just probably some shit going on to keep America stupid and dumb and docile and contained and only having one family and one this, that thing, or other. But you know, like I said, them people, they do what they want. You think Epstein is in prison and he hung himself? You only smart as a box of rocks. If you think P. Diddy's locked up and he going crazy sitting in a 4x4 cell, you only smart as a box of pebbles. Real talk. You only know that because your family member is in jail and they can't get out. But they not like us. They spirit cooking on you continuously and constantly. I always tell you Hollywood is closed down. The grounds where you which knew where like Tyler Perry, how do you think Tyler Perry was able to get up there and get his 33 all set up? Huh? Because the W man left. He went out like Jesus and ventured into the world now. He's seen the technology. He said, I don't need no big ass cameras, lights, and the people will be the action. So now you waiting for a movie with a nigga coming out on a chair and the big clipboard talking about action. No, they don't do it that way no more. Your movies and roles are being played out by you right here in your streets. Why you think them people was telling you, oh, they was putting guns on the streets during the times of the pandemic? They was putting pallets of bricks so that the monkeys could come and see the bricks and get them and throw it through the windows. People, the world is a stage. You are part of the movie. There are other dimensions of niggas out here that's interested in turning on Channel Earth and watch what the crap you are doing. Did you know that? Yeah, you got Channel 10, Channel 3, Channel 14, and what have you. Did not tell you ain't like no other place here on in existence than Earth? Then there must be some that of another thing somewhere else that fits that binary code. Your binary code for here is 3, 6, and 9. They told you that. Or 0, 1. Right? 1 to 9. That's it. Or 0 to 9. With 0 not being that of a number. Let's be clear. Reading on, it states that, again, even Einstein said that some notions of non-logical quantum mechanics appear spooky, yet this is what the data through repeatedly experiments has established, and there is no conflict within the scientific community about the data. Let's be clear on that. The only thing being discussed is what the data actually implies. In general, there are 3 lenses through which to filter this data. And we went through them. That which was of what? Philosophical monist alternative, the science fiction alternative, and the neo-Kantian alternative. All right? So the philosophical monist alternative affirms what is alluded to in Buddhist and Taoism texts. It also correlates with the modern theories such as Robert Sheldrake's concept of the morphogenetic field. All right? So you figure that out. You ain't got to be a scientist to know what that means. You know what morph means, and you know what genetics mean. So this individual dealt with the morphophonetic field, or it states that Carl Jung, which is another individual concept of synchronicity. Okay, it implies that all is one. That's a saying of a theory. Now remember, people, these people are theoretic scholars and scientists, which means though these are theories, these are not actually proof and of their findings. So it gives me no other choice than to have questioning, as we should be doing about everything. Are we all one? No, I'm leaning to think not. We may be one in partaking of a certain idea, event, or affair, but as being of an existence, what did I tell you? No, you're not like me. And if you continue to think that we all one, I'm going to continue to prove that we're not. I'm going to keep altering myself and changing and morphosizing. Use the word morphing here. Don't forget, some of you niggas are teenage ninja turtles. You better go back and do the research of what mutant means. Don't play with me. I rule and control that of the self. I'm nothing else. I'm my own God. I'm not your God. I'm the God of me, self, and I in my universe. Huh? Oh, you thought I was your God when I told you I was God Almighty? You thought I was talking about I'm your Lord and Savior? Who's standing in the corner? Your mother and father created you, nigga. What's wrong with you? I ain't your God. Now, if you want me to be, I'll be. That's what most of you people like anyway. You need a God. You need somebody you can put all your weight on. You need somebody you can cry to. I don't have that privilege. You lucky. You can put all your burdens on God. I'm gonna help him out later on. Y'all putting so much work on that man. But right now, I got me to do. But I got intention on helping God too, because y'all know how I am. Because y'all niggas, y'all put God through so much. You think your mother and your father is stressed out. But anyway, let's understand and understand. You are the sole controller of your entire affairs and everything that's happening in your state of existence. So the science fiction model states that energy can either be unfolded, implicated, or unfolded, explicated, right? This is objects in the universe have an underlying program of activity. This is also known as the FTL, or faster than light model. In this model, information appears or is traveling faster than light because it is programmed into energy and matter on a quantum level. In the words of Dr. Baum, and we quote, it may mean there is some kind of information. What did I tell y'all? Huh? That can travel faster than the speed of light. End quote. The third model of the neo Canteen alternative is summarized clearly in Dr. Baum's statement of quote, or it may mean that our concepts of space and time have to be modified. Listen, in some way that we know, that we now don't understand. End quote. And I find that interesting that statement was made, people. For the record, he states that strongly that excuse me, strongly supports the science fiction model. Or this was Dr. Bohm's I what he has quoted. And so within the series that implicates order, where it is viewed through any of the above lens, is referred to us as the mind. It also is related to uh, actually, or should I say, occasionally having no appearance caused on the mesoscopic level. Uh, Macro being the astronomical level, or astral traveling, or astral plane. That will be your macro, your micro and your macro. See, meso being the biological level, meso, MESO, and micro being the quantum level. All right, which many of you already know about that. So this is the experience of two or more events that are apparently casually unrelated or unlikely to occur together by chance, and that are observed to occur together in a meaningful manner. The concept does not question or compete with the notion of casualty. Instead, it maintains that just as the events may be grouped by cause, they may also be grouped by meaning. Check. A grouping of events by meaning need not have an explanation in terms of cause and effect. Now, where is the mind? Some people ask, and they rightfully have good energy to do so. A lot of people just don't know. A lot of people just can't understand their relation to them being anything other than the physical and being that of the mind, the spirit, and how when I look in the mirror and I tell myself that I'm in love with you and my lips aren't moving. You see? Maybe you can understand that. Maybe you can see that. But know that there's individuals that are totally incapable of even perceiving such a concept. So therefore, they make like that of Madonna. What did Madonna tell you? I'm a material girl living in the material world. You see? Now you become physical. You become material. Everything about you becomes material, material, material. Nothing spiritual about you, even though you may quote spiritual shit. But no works are you doing greater than your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And I studied that book back and forth, to and fro in different languages. The Holy, so-called Holy Bible. And nowhere in it does it say that thou should not worship thyself. In fact, you should be doing greater works than Jesus did. America, huh? What's wrong with you? You say you're a Christian nation. I need some people to start putting forth some greater works. I need to be convinced. If you want to convince me, you need to be doing greater works than Jesus. Else I ain't listening to you. I don't even want to play with you no more. And no, you can't play with my toys. Because we're not excelling. We're not moving on. We're not moving forward. You got people talking about making America great again. When was it ever great? You don't know how to make it great. You got not the power to make it great. You got to wait for me. It got to come from us. The same way America was manifested, brought into fruition, will be the same way that it is to be great. So the philosophical monist alternative affirms what is alluded to in Buddhist and a Taoist text. It also correlates with modern theories such as Robert Sheldrake's concept of the morphic field. All right, so we read that. We was at the science fiction of alternative. So the science fiction model states that energy can either be we've been there. All right, so we're pretty much moving right along. Oh, we were at where is the mind? So again, we all heard the theory. We've seen the mathematical code of that E equal MC squared. But not too many people was really clear as to the true accurate, and there is no ending formula of the E equal MC squared 3. Let's be clear with that, because a lot of time it's posted with the 3 behind after the C. And for those who are unaware, let me remind you or make note that this mathematical code was that of supposed to be coming from Einstein. Check. And keeping it interesting, okay, let me state for the record that E, A, B, C, D, E, right, will be your energy, right? E is because it's 5. It's the fifth number. So now you're dealing with power and refinement, right? E equals MC. In the supreme mathematics, M is master. So you're taking yourself, your energy, and becoming a master to the 3rd degree, mastering this paradigm in which you're in. It's the 3rd rim or rail. Check. Follow me now. If you take the M and turn it sideways, you can see a 3. If you take the letter C, 1, 2, 3, right? It will be that of the way you see. So what Einstein was hinting to, this is why the teachers never really explained it fully in the classrooms. I had to learn all this myself by figuring it out, sitting back and contemplating, taking herbs and shit. Praying, so-called praying. Praying is nothing but wishful thinking and contemplating and meditating. So what they did was gave you the mathematical formula of how to really see the MC was MC squared. What's that? 2. I said it was 3. They got a 2 here. Okay, so it's 2. So that was before that of the 3, 6, and 9, before they threw that Nikola Tesla in your face. See, that formula did not come from Nikola Tesla. Let's be clear on this. That's just the individual in which they chose, of course, a W man, right? Naturally, I ain't mad at you. You're not going to put me up there talking about, well, this is where we learned it from. No, you want to always put your people first. So you got to understand and understand how this went. Because remember, according to their story, everybody learned up under the feet and the foot of the ancient Egyptians up in Egypt, which were all so-called melanated men or women. Check. So now that you got this E MC squared, it's none other than you standing perpendicular on your square, as the Masonic order entails for their individuals to be. So we're talking about basically dealing, and I say basically lightly because this is a basic place of existence. To show how you're only dealing with 33 degrees of knowledge, wisdom, and information. 33 degrees is just a degree above frozen, people. Freezing is 32 degrees. You see? So by existing here on the third rail, which y'all call the third plane or the third dimension, you're only going to go to that of 33 degrees of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Unless you partake not of that order. You see? So it states here that it has several questions. Some of the questions are, where is E equal MC? Where is Wednesday? Where is Uncle Sam? Where is information? Where is security? Where is an anthem? Where is the digestion? Where is consciousness? Where is metabolism? And are these things real? What are they composed of? Better yet, where exactly is the program that is controlling your computer at right at this moment? Is it in the base of your computer, or can you see it in your monitor? Is it in your printer, huh? Or in your mouse, or your speakers? When you listen to music, is the music coming out of your speakers, huh? Or is it in the cable wires and cords connecting those above mentioned things? Better yet, at what point did the computer program, Windows 7, Microsoft Excel, etc., stop being in the brain of the person who invented it and in the brain of the person who developed the program or developed a blueprint to manufacture it? And at what point did it cease being in that small jump drive, right? They loaded it. They loaded into the the USB. I'm sorry, the USB port, and download it into your computer. Now here's the answer. It states that the mind, like a computer program, is organization in itself. If someone ever discovers a definite shape, size, position, monument, or orientation for mathematical, let me know. What does it do? Nothing. It is only a description of how people, places, and things can be ordered on their most fundamental level. The more one discovers which phenomenon implies or fails to employ these basic building blocks of physics, one can maximize their success in all their under and overtaking. The mind is not a thing that causes life and matter. It is a description of something in life and a matter that is organized. Asking what does it do is tantamount in asking what does E equal MC squared do. So, all right. So far here, the gods is explaining things and making mention of things which me I've already answered and overcome. So again, I'm not going to weigh in too much on some of this information here. Just keep in mind that as gods and goddesses, we are to grow with the information that we come across in life. That's why it comes across to you. Information don't come across to you for you to regurgitate it. All right. We got enough preachers and ministers and pastors out here. Now we need teachers, all right, in this subject. Okay. We need everything to be revised. We're moving into a whole new paradigm of things in existence. In fact, we are definitely in a new world order. There's nothing of the old world that you can take into the new world. No. You can't even go and call me on a telephone booth no more. Not in America. Why? Because there are no more telephone booths. Where once upon a time there was a telephone booth. Yeah, you can go in the corner and call me from when you get there. But now I tell you, call me on the cell phone when you pull up. You know what I'm talking about? So everything's just changing, people. And you have to change with it. Else you die out. You see? This is the whole concept of being young at heart. You understand? Young at heart don't mean that you keep riding skateboards and motorcycles and bikes and playing with doll babies, going to the carnival, picnicking, kissing and hugging, shacking up in the car, making love. You too old for that shit. Young at heart means that as the new world come in, the new creatures and the new beings, you were able to sit down and dialogue with them, consult, resonate, and concur. That's young at heart. Whereas a young individual love to come visit you. Why? Because they see something in him or her. You see? And like manner, vice versa. Grandpop, grandmom see something in them. So the mind is not a thing that causes life and matter. Okay, that's what something I disagree with. All right, I know that the mind is energy, and it is what causes everything to happen. All right, so we're going to go into the concept of as above, so below. We're going to wrap it up on this note here. On this, all right. I got to go and do some other things in existence here on the third rail in the wilderness of North America. I want to tell you something of the Prometheus Rising. All right. Robert Anton Wilson, this individual writes that consider the human brain and kind of biocomputer, an electro colloidal computer, right? As distinct from the electronic or solid state computers which exist outside our heads. The brain appears to be made up of matter and electro colloidal super suspension, which would be your protoplasma. All right. So colloid, what's this? Colloids, 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 right? Are pulled together toward a condition of gel by their surface tensions. This is because surface tensions pull all glue-like substance together. Colloids are also conversely pushed apart toward a condition of SOL, SOL, by their electrical charges. All right. So this is because their electrical charges are similar and similar. I'm learning this too, people. So I'm reading to understand. All right. We reading to see. Don't just read just to be reading things in existence. If you don't understand something, you need to stop. Even if it's a word, look the word up. Like the words, for me, I'm doing fine and well with it, even though I don't even pronounce them maybe right, and or know not the exact definition or meaning. However, with the right uh, energy and train of thought and thinking, you can determine and imagine. Because remember, imagination is everything. To the correct picture that is to be formulated by the words that's spoken, whether from an individual or in book. All right. So this is how you're able to, or you should be able. I mean, like quickly move it along while having to just keep reverting back to a dictionary and be like, yo, what this word mean? What this word mean? What this word mean? You know, just stay tuned, staying focused of the vision that's being formulated, and the words will be self-explanatory, even though it's a nice, big, pretty ass word spelled, and you don't even know the difference to it. All right. So moving on, let us understand and understand how let's go back. Again, this is because the electrical charge are similar, and the similar electrical charges always repel each other. Oh, wait a minute, I don't even think we got there yet. I'm ahead of myself. One sentence too far. So this is because surface tensions. All right. So again, the brain appears to be made up of matter and electrical collateral sus- uh, suspension, right? And collaterals are pulled together toward a condition of gel by their surface tension. This is because surface tensions pull all glue-like substances together. Colloids, as is said here, are also conversely pushed apart towards a condition of soul, SOL, not SOUL, all right, by their electrical charges. This is because their electrical charges are similar, and similar electrical charges always repel each other. In the in the equilibrium between gel and soul, the collateral suspension maintains its continuity and life continues. Move the suspension too far toward gel or too far toward soul and the light. Any chemical that gets into the brain changes the gel soul balance, and consciousness is accordingly influenced. All right. Thus, potatoes are like LSD, psychedelic in a milder way. Wow, what a change there. However, I'm hoping that we get the point. I told you this information here was going to be a little outstanding. So take it as you perceive it, digest it as you can, dissect it as you will. But for the most part, make it let it make sense to that of your state of existence. And so we're gonna read on here, and I'm gonna stop after this quick note of being deep, and we'll definitely pick back up in another stream. And I'm gonna wish you all success. And I'm gonna tell you how great you are. If nobody ever explained to you and told you that you was the greatest of all existence, I'm here to tell you to this day that if there was no you, there'd be no states of existence, people. All right. Higher consciousness is not when you can judge people who ain't where you are. Higher consciousness is when you understand why everyone is where they are. You see, including why you aren't where you could be. I'm sorry. Higher consciousness is when you understand why everyone is where they are, including why you aren't where you could be. As we explained in the beginning of this book, despite how honorable our guess for knowledge, our quest for knowledge, I'm sorry, and perfection may seem, sometimes we are merely trying to fill a void within our sense of self. We're just trying something different. Now, there's nothing wrong with finding yourself in deep knowledge. But if this process involves alienating yourself from anyone else, there's nothing indigenous, African, traditional, healthy, or holistic about that. We shouldn't aspire to be above others. All right? I think I told y'all that. That's never, if you thought that I was greater than you just because I'm Nate the Great, please forgive me. That was never my intentions for you to proceed. All right? It's just that that's who and what I am. So, again, if the process involves alienating yourself from anyone else, there's nothing indigenous, African, traditional, healthy, or holistic about that. We shouldn't aspire to be above others, talking over their heads, things of that nature, or so deep that people can't see us at ground level. If we end up doing so, we should be honest and consider if our personal journey is more about feeding our own internal demons than the work of the gods. Check. The purpose of higher knowledge is not simply to get high off. All right? The knowledge is not, that's not the intent. You, you know? It is to bring back down its face here to earth so the rest of us can benefit. That's the reason why I do my streaming. This is the reason why I post the things that I post, to elevate our awareness, to advance, uplift, upcharge our consciousness, the way we see things. We all do this for each other. No one can be left behind, people. The world, your nation, will only be as strong as its weakest link. Are we clear on that? So we need not weak links in our nation, in our family, in our communities, in our neighborhoods, in our relationships. And yes, we know it's hard because many just don't even get what I'm talking about. Probably over 85%. But there was a time when you didn't get it either. I didn't even get it. I remember when I was a nigger. And I mean an Nigger. I'm not talking about naga, negas, or in the term in which we today use it as being supreme. Because of course we know today we done took the word nigga and it means something good. It's a supreme God. Anytime you hear me use the word nigga, I'm talking about the supreme God. Dating back from that of the ancient time where they termed it and deemed it as nagas. Okay? There was a time in which I didn't know what I know now. Shit. I wanted to date like bright and damn near white. We knew we knew black man knew he couldn't get a white girl, so he sought out to see what? A light skinned girl. You see? My mind was messed up too. I was a monkey. I just decided to come up out of it. I started recognizing, realizing I didn't want to leave this earth as just being human. I didn't want to leave this earth. I don't want to leave this earth as thinking that only thing the best that I can achieve to this world was rising up out of slavery. No, I knew once I leave here, I'm making an impression and indentation on the story. You're not gonna be reading nothing about his story no more. It's gonna be about your story now. What are you writing for the people to talk about tomorrow? Huh? Or you think they're gonna be reading Christopher Columbus, Shakespeare, Aristotle, Socrates, and them information? No. That's gone. That's dead, y'all. That's been deep Darwinism. That's been debunked. Africans coming, everybody in America coming from Africa. That's debunked. That's not real. That's not true. So the purpose of higher knowledge is not simply to get high off of, but to bring the knowledge back down to earth so the rest of us can benefit. And yes, we know it's hard because many just don't get it. But there was a time when you didn't get it either, and some ideas and some methods, right? But it worked better for you than others. Remember that. Instead of becoming frustrated with the sick, work hard to become a better healer. And yes, some of us, including you, don't know that we are sick. All right. And so I'm going to stop there. I get up out of here. I'm going to go do some other things in existence. That's going to conclude the transmission for this evening. I'm going to keep this. I still got some work going here. I need that information. Right? So that's going to conclude. And I'm going to, again, make sure you people go and do great with yourself. All right? I'm out of here. What that does is clear the crown chakra, people. All right, be sure you get your tuning bowl or some tuning forks and get you a tuning book and learn what it is it's about of tuning yourself up. All right, peace. I'm out of here. Make sure you take care of yourself and do it on and with a purpose.